Welcome everyone to podcast Walls of
Welcome
Thighs
to the Conspiracy
podcast.
Theory special. How y'all feel?
It hits you.
Rituals and practices.
And 5 nights at
So scientists have made this robot that is AI with micromagnetic particles made out of gallium and a few other things. And it's totally crazy. It can do the old T-1000 Terminator 2 movie scene, phasing through the wall.
It's basically like a little Lego man they created that can do exactly what you said. The Terminator shit. I haven't even.
It's wild. I don't
even think I've seen Terminator, actually, now that I think about it.
I don't think I've ever watched it through, you know?
Yeah. But this shit. Oof.
It's totally crazy. So, in reading on it more, it said that it used gallium because it has a melting point. I think it said around 86 degrees Fahrenheit, which clearly that's not super hot. It makes it easy for them to put some kind of heating core in there and heat it into the liquid form. And this is why they're trying to make it, is to solve medical problems, right?
Yeah.
I think the only medical problem it would be solving is your life, but that's on, opinionated basis, right?
They want you to eat the metal.
Yeah, you're supposed to, ingest it? No, I'm not signing up for that, dude. Not ingesting a tiny robot, man. Not happening. Not gonna do it.
Let's see, what else were we gonna talk about?
Andrew Tate and his arrest.
Andrew Tate, yeah. Let's get it.
And
So
all the crazy things surrounding it and how it's just a little weird.
So Andrew Tate's, I want to see his. Could look into some of the tweets he's been making since he was put in jail.
Yeah, he's been saying a lot about the Matrix, trying
Yep.
to take him out for what he's
Yep.
done. And
Let's see.
there's, I think, the third video down. One of those.
Which one?
Let me see. Go up one. Click on that. And so, from everything I've read as well, they have no evidence supporting any of this.
My money, that is why I'm in jail. I have money that they are trying to steal. Is the Matrix?
You even hear the people saying it's Matrix. He's agreeing. And it's kind of crazy, though, everything that's going on.
Yeah.
I honestly feel like he's misconstrued as a person and demonized by media before people get to know him
Yeah.
or know a whole lot about him. And just in a general basis, kind of
So,
go along with what they hear.
Yeah, and I kind of want to talk about, how... Do you think, how I was saying earlier, how he's he provides a voice for a lot of people?
I think in a way, kind of.
Yeah.
He definitely speaks up for men, and I feel like a lot of people call him misogynistic based on the fact that he just has an older kind of style of thinking with if I'm going to support you and all your bills, if you look back into, the past, aside from any of the inequality, it was just expected if the man is to earn the meal, you're to do things at home, which he says. I'm not saying I agree with it or anything, but nevertheless, I think because of those statements that he makes, people misconstrue him as, hating women.
Right.
But if you look into it, he doesn't have a large violent past with women that I've seen from any of the things I've looked up, but I could be wrong. It's not like I've dived deep into the life of Andrew Tate and done a bunch of research,
Yeah.
but
I think he's a lot of the things he's promoting though too are like just getting super rich and
he just promotes scamming
getting
people,
with a bunch of women,
which isn't really
and
nothing.
getting the right car. I mean, a lot of it, I feel like, I mean, I when I see or when I hear him, I feel like I hear a lot of people say similar things about, like, you know, what they want in life and how they're going to get it. But I feel like Andrew Tate, in a way, like, since he's at that point, maybe he sees that, like, having all this stuff, having money, having, like, all these things doesn't actually bring him fulfillment. And I think that's why he's trying to send this message out, is because he knows that that's what actually brings fulfillment, is feeling like you're saying something meaningful to the world and like you're having an effect on people's perception of the world.
I think partly too.
And kind of like spreading your ideas out in the world, because it feels like you're doing something meaningful. Like, that's what he's trying to do, I think.
I think partly it could be an ego thing as well.
Right.
Where,
And I think it
not
is
necessarily
a lot,
like that he has that, but maybe necessarily he's inflated his natural ego, dramatized it even so, just for the camera, just to make himself more popular. And it's a thing you see all the time, especially in the culture that surrounds today's generation.
Yeah.
You know, you see a lot of people that are like, hey, this person made some waves and, you know, they got noticed. Maybe I could do that. And sometimes some of the people, you know, they will say things that make them misappropriated, you know?
Right. It just, man.
It's kind of crazy. And then aside from all that, with everything that's going on, and right now you're in the cancel culture and everybody knows that. So it's a time right now as a country where words are definitely watched. You gotta, you know, be careful with what you say. I mean, you see all the time right now with the cancel culture going on with celebrities. All it takes is one thing, whether it was recently or something that somebody just thought, hey, I should bring this to light, whether it's true or not. It's about getting somebody's name demonetized for their fame.
Yeah.
So it's all a bunch of ladders.
Yeah.
Start taking some dabs via podcast.
Oh man. All right, guys. Just taking the podcast to the next level here.
So I mean, the name of the podcast should have led you to believe that these things were going to happen. If you didn't expect it or see it coming, this probably ain't the podcast.
About eyeballs in the wall.
Balls in your wall.
See, because that's what you see when you smoke weed.
That's when you see your balls when you smoke weed, dude. I mean, the walls. Whatever.
Balls in the walls.
It's all the same. Walls, balls. It's all the same, dude.
We're going balls to the wall.
Put my balls on the wall. No, sir.
We're going eyeballs to the wall.
That sounds kind of painful. Especially you get some of those walls, you know, they got the, like, fucking, like, spiky shit on them and shit, dude. Like, all the texturing. They should pop a fucking eyeball, dude. Oh, so funny. Ball. Right here?
Yep.
So you need a directional curb cap, my guy.
Directional?
Yeah.
What is that?
It means, like, see how these are slanted? It means, like, the air hole itself has a curve to it. So it's directional. So when it pulls the air in, instead of pulling air straight down, it pulls it in a circular motion, which causes the turp probe to spin. Dude, I
was always wondering
my balls and mine, they'll spin so hard, dude. My balls spin like a champ. Always, dude. Just you gotta make your balls spin, dude. Otherwise, you're not gonna have a good time.
But
keep that away from the mic.
Oh yeah. It's probably.
Let me help you here, buddy. I got you. So, should we talk about some current events that are going on right now?
Yeah. Let's think about current events.
So I mean, look, where's the place where the fucking war is going on right now with Russia and I can't think, dude.
It's
fuck Faceland, right?
it's
Motherfucker.
oh,
dude.
I literally got I got edibles that
You got edibles?
yeah, look, I got edibles that
What kind of edibles?
it has the name of the place.
Oh.
Fuck Putin.
Fuck.
But it was only because of the price. It was a
Yeah, I
good
saw
price.
those.
And so I was like, you know what? I don't
Fuck
support.
Putin.
I don't even know
Ukraine.
what this is about.
Fucking A, dude. I just
Right.
had an epiphany. Ukraine, dude. Holy shit.
What's your epiphany from?
I just thought of where the
Oh,
war
yeah,
was going
yeah.
on, asshole.
That's what we were
Ukraine, dude. So on the note of
That's what we
Ukraine,
were
dude, like
trying
look what's going on in Ukraine right now. Do some
Yep.
Google searching right
Let's
now.
look
Do
at
it.
it. Let's
Just fucking pop that shit up.
expose
son.
ourselves to the
Do
crazy
some
shit
war
that's going
time,
on.
dude.
Man, I can't even type, bro. Ukraine.
This guy doesn't know how to use his own shit. He's got a dirty ass banger. You gotta clean it for him. He's an animal. This guy smokes like a caveman. I own $500-$600 in electric dabbing devices, like Dr. Dabbers and shit. And this guy, he's over here with this shitty little bone,
Look at this.
smoking
This is
like
a
it's fucking
this is a gripping
2014.
headline right here. Suffering will increase.
Well, put it on
Russia
for a second. Let's see what's
response.
going on in
It's
Ukraine.
this CNN. bro.
Let's see.
This,
Oh, fucking Crooked News Network. Here we go, dude.
this is the real brainwash.
So here's the problem with even trying to find out what's going on in today's media.
Is that stuff like this is
Shit
the
like
first
this,
thing that
dude.
comes up?
CNN.
First thing.
And that's the problem.
Yep.
Nobody's going to build their own opinion because we're watching opinionated news. But let it play.
Yep.
Yeah, it certainly is. And you already heard yesterday when sort of was seeping through that this was probably going to happen.
Oh, I got a good talking
They are
point,
very
too.
happy.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
got some
It's
details
not
on
something
the
good.
They say that their main
I got a post on it.
in the end,
Take this.
You
You clean your own device next time, bruh.
Oh, I was always just doing it low temp. I was doing it so low temp to the point where it just wouldn't burn all of that.
Yeah, you got to burn it off in between heat sessions.
Well, see, I did that with this other bank. This one
If
right
it broke,
here.
it's because it's not.
No, it
quartz.
didn't break. It's just that over time, it just tasted like I couldn't take a hit out of it without it tasting like burnt, getting a weird like shit in my throat.
You need
Maybe
to
it was
use
just like
alcohol.
what it was made at.
Do I need to teach you how to do that?
No.
So you need to get 90 plus isopropyl rubbing alcohol.
Well,
Then you
doing
need
low
to get
temp has worked.
low
so
temp or
far.
not, dude. You always have to clean your device, right? So it's like when you load a bowl of weed and you smoke it, you ash it out before you load another bowl, right? Exactly. So it's similar to that. You're smoking oil now, though. So when you're done hitting that, you need to Q-tip all the leftovers and
Yeah,
then
I
clean
do
it with
do that.
alcohol.
I Q-tip the leftover, but I don't do the alcohol.
Alcohol. And this thing will look like this 24/7. I'm not even kidding you. The banger I've
So I
had.
guess that was the missing element.
That's a missing element. You just needed me here. Just, I've worked in the industry. By the way, podcast, I sell marijuana for a living. I have a license to do so in the state of Oregon. I work at a dispensary that I will not disclose the location or name of, but I've been working there for over 2 years. This guy already has a dab out, so I'll get a dab on the other side because that's how things work. Picks are awesome. Carb cap me, man. Cheers, guys.
Really believe they're going to get a lot more tanks than they had originally thought.
All ahead of what is expected to be a real Russian escalation in the spring. So key timing. Fred, thank you for the reporting.
So we've been telling you this morning about the German government announcing it is sending Leopard 2 tanks to Ukraine after weeks of pressure from allies. This comes after two officials tell CNN the U.S. is finally sending approximately 40
Yes, sir.
tanks as well. And Russia has vowed to expand military equipment that are supplied to Ukraine. And Russia is preparing for revenge against Ukraine on the battlefield. So joining us now, the
You tip that home and you're good.
The Bill of Obligations, 10 Habits.
Hello?
I'm so happy to have him on. Richard Massey is
Oh, yeah?
Relations and a veteran diplomat.
I'm on a podcast.
I gotta grab my Q-tips real quick.
I am in Jake's bedroom, and no, we're not doing gay shit. We're doing a podcast, so kind of doing gay shit, but not like physically gay shit. There's no touching going on.
Metaphorically.
He does have this giant vibrator that I'm pretty sure he shows up on his balls and butt. It's really weird looking. I want the podcast in the world that know.
Cut this part right. Cut this away. No, I gotta leave it in actually. That's funny.
The podcast is called Balls on His Walls.
Yep.
Oh.
Balls to the wall.
No, it's called Eyes in the Walls.
I keep going off camera. I have to like keep centered. Okay.
Alright, man, I was having fun. I love you, buddy.
Alright, this is Ukraine shit. Yes. So this is the problem. I feel like too far away from the screen, but it's the only way.
This is the shit my dad sends me. He's sending me Predator. You can't really see that. He sent me Mad Predator Pro Pack. It's got a mid-range of Pipsqueak and a long-range Jackrabbit. It's because I kill coyotes, people. I'm a murderer of animals. Legally.
True dad.
Here's a good topic, gun control. How y'all feel about that? I mean, here's my comment. You know what the crazy thing is?
What?
People don't want guns to defend themselves, right?
Yeah.
They want the cops to defend them. Cops can only react so fast, right? They can't turn back time. They can't revive your dead one whose head is bashed in. You know? They can't unrape you. Alright. Guns save plenty of lives. They take plenty of lives too. But, you know what kills the bad guy? A fucking good guy with a gun.
Right.
Every day.
Exactly.
That's all I'm saying.
Yep.
And if you look into all these mass shootings that take place in all these places, right? If you do not even any kind of real research, just look at some fucking signs in the area. They're all gun-free zones. So as you pass more gun control, here's my thinking personally, which, you know, is opinionated. But my personal thinking, here's a good way to put it. Criminals are criminals, why? Because they break the law repeatedly, okay? They already know the things they're doing are illegal, yet they continue to do so. So, making guns illegal, taking them away from the good people that own the weapons, is doing nothing more than disarming good, hardworking citizens and arming criminals so that those criminals can come and do whatever they want because we are no longer armed. Not only that, the entire reason of the Second Amendment isn't just so that I can own guns to defend myself against old average Joe. It's so that I can defend myself against a tyrannical government. That's literally wrote in there.
Right. I feel like that's
part everybody
kind of
forgets.
behind it all, is this push to take guns away. Behind all of it, there is the kind of, you could say, the leaders of the Matrix, you could say. Like, what I'm starting to realize more and more is that, like, the word Matrix is a really good word, a term to describe, like, the world and what it is now and what it's becoming with technology and everything. It's like, it's literally,
crazy.
it's the Matrix. That's what it is. And there's
It's
people
kinda
at
crazy.
the top of the Matrix, at the head of it, that are kind
Just
of
running
like,
it all.
yeah, exactly. And
Feel
there's
that.
certain people saying certain things that are going against the Matrix, and they'll do things to make them shut up. Like it's like how they created the term conspiracy theory. Like the government literally created the term conspiracy theory.
So on
So-
conspiracy theories,
Right.
let's go, dude.
Yes.
Because you're getting onto that.
Yes. So
with the COVID thing, right? Everything's going on with COVID, right? How do you feel about the vaccines? Do you? I mean,
still haven't
I feel
taken
like
one.
it's a
I
population
still haven't
control.
taken one.
I
You haven't
taken
taken
it.
one, right?
No,
Yep.
you won't catch me taking
Yep.
one.
Not
gonna happen.
Yeah, and I'm going on this trip with my cousin here soon, out of country, and I was wondering, like, oh, will I have to take the vaccine? But apparently, I guess I don't. But
Well, good. Just don't take it.
that's
Because
good. Yeah.
so in the news, I'm sure everybody heard of this. That is at least any involved in sports. I'm not involved in sports. I don't watch football. I don't really do any of
Where's
that.
want to eat spaghetti? Have some.
So on the note of sports, there was a gentleman who was like, I think he's like 25 years old. Maybe he was older. See, that's how you know I don't know much about it. But this gentleman is on, recording, playing a professional football game in the NFL, and he tackles somebody, gets up, kind of gets dizzy, and just passes out, has a heart attack, and like dies on the field. I think he might have like full on died. I want to do some research on that here in a second. Pull that up.
Yeah. Who is
Pull
this
up
guy?
and just pull up NFL player passes out on field and has heart attack. NFL player has heart attack. Just look that up. Make it easy. So it's crazy, dude. Like they're looking into it, and he's in the prime of his life. He's in great health, but he got the COVID vaccine not that long ago.
Oh my god.
And they're finding blood clots and all this in him. And you're seeing all these things if you look into it about them talking about fibrous strands growing in the veins and blood clots, right? Pause this real quick. I saw this post, and we'll have to look it up right after this video.
Yeah.
And it's something, and we'll have to see if it's actually true. But it's something about, and I think Joe Rogan actually posted on Instagram. I should be able to pull it up right here on my phone in half a second. Because I sent it to my buddy the other day and was like, no fucking way, dude. Scientists warn eggs are causing thousands of people to suddenly form blood clots.
Oh, I saw
They
that.
shared
I
this
saw
2 days
that,
ago,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So now they're trying to blame eggs.
Oh my god.
Chicken eggs that people have been eating for fucking hundreds of years. Fucking, right?
Like, after all this time, we realized.
I mean, we've been eating fucking chicken eggs for over 100 years as a, country here.
the only thing I could think of that
But now all of a sudden,
that would
they're
make
making
sense
blood
of
clots for
that
it.
is if eggs are somehow being, I don't know, maybe genetically engineered.
I don't
in
know,
some
like
way.
maybe everything.
Like
they have
maybe
GMOs,
maybe because think about it like this.
modified organisms.
Yeah, well
Ooh.
maybe you know how eggs became all expensive and everyone.
Well, see, and here's the crazy
going
thing.
crazy about that.
Since you brought that up,
What if they're trying to find
Oh.
cheap ways to make eggs and they're like, oh, I don't know. what
So
they were
I
doing,
see
but-
where you're kind of going because me and my
Yeah.
buddy brought this up yesterday when I had first heard of it. There's kind of an egg shortage going on right now in the
Yeah.
country,
Yeah.
right? And the COVID vaccine, a lot of people are trying to blame for these blood clots, right? So put the two and two together, we can kill two birds with one stone. Essentially, is kind of how I felt about it.
Yeah.
They're like, let's try to push the blood clot and all these things off the COVID, push it onto eggs, so less people want to buy eggs, and there won't be an egg shortage. It's a fucking conspiracy, man.
Man.
Think about it. Now people aren't going to want to buy eggs as much. That's going to stop the egg shortage, right?
Yep.
How the fuck are
Yep.
eggs going to cause blood clots, dude? I don't give a fuck. You can't talk me into that.
Yeah.
People have been eating eggs for a long time. If anything, they're getting added hormones they've been having for the last 20 years.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden they're going to cause blood clots? No.
And think of all
Just
the
at
other,
the right time with COVID?
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
just
all-
really great timing, I guess.
I mean, all the other associations too, like with, like, how are people living in America nowadays? I mean, most people aren't like. I think a lot of people, it's like maybe it's eggs combined with just the average American diet. It's eggs combined with like,
With all the other GMOs
Yeah,
that we consume
exactly.
daily,
like all the sugar,
And I
all
mean-
these things. It's like that's part of it.
the diet they feed you,
Yeah.
and
Like we can't just disregard that whole. It's such
it's
a
insane.
Yeah, it's a whole other aspect to it. But I'm gonna take
play this.
my. Yeah, let's play this, and I'm gonna take my.
You get hit, you get 4 or 5 seconds of consciousness because your brain can tolerate 4 or 5 seconds.
Right, which is seeing what they're saying. Pause it. Let me see. There you go. So, like, what they're saying, it does happen. People getting hit in the exposed chest area, it can cause some heart problems. But the thing that they're not bringing up in the news right now, that you have to go a little more out of your way to find, is that he had blood clots that were forming in his veins. And he's in the prime of his life.
Right. How would
So
that
where
happen?
were the blood
How would
clots
something like
from?
that happen? When someone is so healthy.
Yeah. And
That's so
that's the part that's, just a little weird.
I mean,
with
imagine all the
everything
blood
going on.
that's flowing through his veins when
Yeah,
he's exercising.
this gentleman
all the
is
time. It's like-
extremely fit, has a strict diet, eats very well, works out daily.
it makes no sense why.
You
something
know,
like
he
that
wouldn't
would form.
have clots forming unless he had something. And they're even trying to claim in the news, oh, he just got hit in the chest and had a heart attack and died. That was it. Simple in
See,
and out.
it's little things like this that make us not able to trust the people that are at the head of this matrix.
And you can't trust anything. I mean, with anyone, you always need to question everything.
Yeah.
You need to have your own way of thinking. You need to have your own understanding. Never just be like, oh, well, hey, somebody else said that's what they do, so that's what I should do. No, do it your own way. Be your own goddamn person.
Yeah, I just
But
wish.
nobody does that anymore.
Yeah, the thing with
Sad part.
maybe we should watch this video right here. Joe Rogan on Kanye West.
Oh,
to
dude.
let Kanye talk to be corrected. Should we watch this? Yeah.
We already gotta cut this part. Kanye.
Yeah,
We're done,
here we
dude.
go.
We're canceled, dude.
No,
Speech,
no.
right? It's like, of course, everybody wants freedom of speech, but everybody doesn't want to be yelled at, right? Like, you don't want to be around people that are talking shitty. So because he had to ban Kanye West.
Yeah.
Like, Kanye West was, which is the craziest thing ever, right? You have a rapper who's one of the most famous people alive, and he decides to make a
Let's
Star
have a spaghetti break.
Yeah.
swastika.
Then you'll make this podcast better.
Yeah. I'm fucking starving. Let's. Okay. So we were gonna talk about Scientology.
Yeah. We'll be recording.
Yep.
I'm off camera. It's alright, though.
Alright.
I'll get in camera in a minute.
Okay. Let's see.
Welcome to On Your Target Demographic. Every Wednesday we cover an interesting topic, hobby, or something else that people might feel they're uneducated about. Today we're diving into a religion for the first time, focusing on Scientology. I'm going to try to remain unbiased and give you a look at what the Church of Scientology says, what other people might say
So it's
about
like
it,
a
and
dissecting.
hopefully we'll give you an idea of
We're
what
gonna
the
watch
other
this.
people
We're gonna have a little combo
We'll bring
about
up
it.
controversies about Scientology, but by doing so, I'm not agreeing
That's
with
the founder of
or
Scientology.
endorsing any arguments. Before we dive in, I do want to clarify that Scientology is not the same as Christian Scientists, as they're often confused.
Nope.
So let's start at the beginning. Scientology was developed by an author named L. Ron Hubbard. This is important
author.
and is the first
Remember that.
controversy already.
A fucking
Because L.
book
Ron
writer.
Hubbard was an established author known for works of fiction, mostly science fiction. Over his lifetime, he published
Yeah.
over 600 fiction pieces,
pretty crazy.
including both short stories and novels, and he holds the Guinness World Record for the author with the most published works. So as we get to the religion aspect of Scientology, you can
Most
see that people
published
might
books,
not
that's
believe
crazy.
the religious texts that he wrote following so many works of science fiction. Hubbard was a United States veteran, serving as a Navy officer during World War II, commanding 2 ships, but was removed from his post because his superiors found him incapable of command. In one of these instances, he fired upon a Japanese submarine that no one else saw and could later find no proof of. The other instance involved him firing upon an island that turned out to belong to Mexico, an ally of the United States. The Church of Scientology gives a lot of weight to his military career, as his injuries and near-death experiences were partially responsible for his ability to see the truth of things and create the foundation for their belief set. The Church of Scientology also disputes a lot of records about Hubbard, including medical records, and even says that sections are falsified to protect his possibly secret activities as an intelligence officer. These Navy records also dispute many of the injuries that he claims to have suffered. We move forward in time, where throughout the 1930s and 40s Hubbard continued to write, but also began to experiment more with the occult, including practicing as a hypnotist and diving into other religious acts that are somewhat unconventional. And in 1950 we have the arrival of his book, Dianetics, A Modern Science of Mental Health. This year is crucial for Scientologists, the beginning of everything. Dianetics is focused on a technique still used today in Scientology called auditing. Either through conversation or through a machine called an e-meter, these professionals would help the patient recall past traumas and get through them or over them, removing the emotional trauma of past memories in a process called clearing. This e-meter picks up on signals from the body in the same way that a polygraph lie detector might. and it tells the auditor what phrases or memories trigger negative feelings.
Oh yeah,
and
I
when
remember they
can
did this on
conclude
South
certain
Park. They were showing
conversations.
this.
Initially,
they were
hoped to
making
get this
fun of
process approved
Yep.
in a larger
That weird
world of
meter.
medicine
That's so
because
weird.
proposals were rejected. At this time, Hubbard also coined a term called Tate, which is essentially our soul, but it's immortal and it allows us to tap into past lives and potentially past traumas from those lives that still might affect us. Dianetics is part of Scientology, but Dianetics in itself is not the religion,
Wow.
but rather one way to enhance the religious experience.
The average man
Pauses.
up against certain
Yeah. What? You looking something?
Hubbard died at age 74 in January 1986. Following Hubbard's death, Scientology leaders announced that his body had become impediment to his work, and that he had decided to drop his body to continue his research on another plane of existence.
What?
Yeah.
What does that mean? What does that even mean?
So as you get further into Scientology, you're going to find out that like part of what they believe is that their body is full of, it's like these little fucking spirit, some weird alien spirit things.
Yeah.
And that when you die, you know, they go back off to the mothership or whatever
Right.
it may be. It's some really
Right.
crazy off the wall shit, dude.
So,
I mean,
what immediately comes to mind when I'm just looking at this obviously, the origination of this was in like the 70s, right?
that guy kind of looks like a vampire.
Yeah, he does. He
We're
has
on
this.
that, dude.
In other words, how can I live
But
a
like
better
this was
life?
obviously 70s, that moment, that kind of hippie culture moment where everyone was kind of, a lot of these things were happening, doesn't it kind of seem like that? Like it wasn't just this, it was also that what was the other thing where they drank the Kool-Aid?
Yeah.
You know? And there's
Whole
also
group of people drink-
Charles Manson.
Yeah.
There's all these little like things that were,
So,
I think people
In the
were kind of-
1970s, on that note, of people doing crimes and shit.
yeah.
In the 1970s, and this is what I was trying to find, Hubbard faced an increasing number of legal threats. French prosecutors charged him in the French Church of Scientology with fraud and customs violations in 1972. He was advised that he was at risk of being extradited to France. Hubbard left the Sea Org fleet temporarily at the end of 1972, living incognito in Queens, New York, until he returned to his flagship in September 1973 when the threat of extradition had abated. Scientology sources say that he carried out a sociological study in and around New York City. Yeah. It says his health deteriorated significantly during this period because he was a chain smoker and suffered from bursitis. Which I have no clue what that is. Remember what the fuck bursitis is. Bursitis is the inflammation of one or more of the bursae, or bursae, of the synovial fluid in the body. They are lined with fluid-filled sacs. So like a picture of bursitis is this dude's nasty ass elbow.
It's like fluid, like
Yeah, it's like
oh man,
fluids, inflammation. Bursa becomes difficult and painful. Movement of the tendons and muscles over the bursa aggravates its inflammation, perpetuating the problem.
so that's what he had. Okay.
So let's see what the treatment was. It's important to differentiate between infected and non-infected. Blah 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 blah. People surrounding have cellulitis and systemic symptoms include fever, physiotherapy, anti-inflammatory drugs, and pain medication. So know that the man that was writing all this religion was also under the medication of painkillers, most likely.
Okay.
How can
Kinda like
I make
Hitler.
things
Everybody's got a vice, right?
It's true.
more stable for my family? How could, you know?
And you know what's actually
How-
okay? I don't want to derail, but because I mean this has to do with it though. Hitler did something similar in the sense of like he was talking to aliens too, but that's a whole other thing.
Right.
And what am I up against? What is happening to me in my life? What is my purpose in life? And so forth. These questions, in actual fact, absorb a tremendous quantity of his energy. And he himself is not able to go out and do anything very progressive about it. So the best thing for him to do is to go out and do something about it. But he can't do anything about it because he is so immersed in it. So So actually, in Scientology processing, he resolves these questions. He understands what he's doing. He knows what he wants to do. He makes up his mind and he goes ahead and does it. And he turns from a man who is simply a puzzled, static being into somebody who is more dynamic, as I say, more competent.
At this point, he
Seems
pivoted
like
to Scientology.
it seems like he's
Making
trying to
argument
like
this whole process is a religion, not a science.
he's trying to like look at reality and think like, oh, how am I gonna make like some kind of new religious system that's gonna explain like these experiences.
It was also
that,
about making money.
well,
You
yeah,
have to pay for
yeah.
each of the classes that you take. It's very expensive.
Yeah.
So it was a money scheme as well. That's one
Yeah.
thing to keep in mind with all of this. There's a lot of money behind
Yeah.
it. Scientology is very expensive. Let's look it up. Let's look up how much it costs to do Scientology. So they charge you for this stuff.
Because it must be, well, see, that's the thing, is that, like, he's not rooted in anything other than himself, I think, is part of it, is that he's motivated by his own self-interest. He's motivated by his desire for money, for profit, for, you know, like, building this great organization thing, where, like...
I'm looking up how much Scientology costs.
And, you know, and I'll even be honest, like, I mean, there are a lot of Christians, like Joel Osteen, you know that guy? He's like...
Yeah, I know who he is.
Yeah.
Big church
like,
dude.
Making all this money off
missing
this...
and-
Yeah, it's like... And I think that's totally... Those people are totally missing the point, I think, and preaching a false gospel. I think they're actually the people that it says in the Bible are wolves in sheep's clothing. And they're actually the biggest
Leah
enemy.
Remini, the lady that's like an actor that got all popular for making a show about Scientology and how she was like mentally and physically abused in it and all this and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
She claims she spent millions during her 35 years.
Ridiculous.
The church has declined every part to take any kind of thing with her show. So Scientology costs hundreds of thousands. Blah, blah. English. Here's how Scientology could cost hundreds of thousands of dollars for its followers, according to former members. Scientologists allegedly spend thousands of dollars to purchase every book written by founder L. Ron Hubbard. It says in the show, she showed off books. It says one wouldn't think the books for church membership would cost thousands of dollars, but she explained that there are 12 basic books in Scientology, and the package costs about $4,000. And a member will often have to buy the books multiple times whenever Scientology says they've been updated. Additionally, Scientology allegedly tells members that libraries have a demand for the books and encourages members to buy multiple book packages to donate to libraries.
Yeah. So like, how can we figure this out? This like thing that happens, like, because it's not obvious. It's obviously more than just
there's
the
a membership
Scientology,
fee.
right? I mean, what we're talking about is more than just Scientology itself, because Scientology is just another version of like all these different.
All religion is just another version. They all have similar things that are going on. This is the only one that kind of costs you a lot of money, though. Is one of the things with it.
Right.
Like, you have to pay for a membership. You don't even just get to be like, hey, I'm a Scientologist. You have to full on pay to be a Scientologist. Aside from the books and audios and CDs and lectures they are going to sell you, you can't get them without buying them.
Yeah.
They charge you to be a member. There's a membership fee, like it's a goddamn club.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's.
But
I mean, with everything I mean, with Christianity, you see the bull getting passed around. That's, you know, a fund for the church.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
I mean,
everybody's tipping their hand in.
Yeah. Well, a lot of it. I mean, there's like churches that, you know, like have gold, like on the inside, gold decorated and stuff. But actually, the way that they got it was there was one church specifically I know that all the gold in it was actually given by like women who are just giving their jewelry, donating their jewelry to the church, just to glorify the church, I guess. Like, that's what all the money was going towards it. And you could, and so there's like, and this is talked about in the Bible actually, where Judas brings up the question where they're pouring the expensive perfume over Jesus's head, I think, and Judas asked, why didn't we sell that expensive perfume and give to the poor? And Jesus says something basically like, there's something that you're not understanding in this, and it has something to do with like how the world, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of a it's it has to do with like how money and the value of money, like, I mean, see, with, I don't know, I don't really know where I'm going with it, but like,
I'm losing track, bud.
Like, materialism isn't what life is about.
No, but it surrounds everything. All holidays as well, other than a few.
And, well, I mean, and you agree, though, that, like, money doesn't fix everything, right?
No,
like,
but materialism is still a part of things.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
Christmas, you know, is supposed to be about, you know, since we're talking about religion, it's supposed to be about Christianity.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's a materialistic holiday at this point. You know, back in the day, when it first came about, it was about giving things that weren't worth money but just meant something. You know, now it's about who got the most expensive gift, who has the most expensive pants.
Yeah.
You know, it's a materialistic world.
Yeah.
And it always will be.
Yeah, and that's something that's really different, like in the sense now where, like, you see, like, how now we are, like, what is that obsession with materialism coming from? Like, is that, I don't think...
It's like we talked about earlier in the podcast, it's about people surrounding themselves with things for fame. You know, everyone wants to be known for something. Nobody's known for being poor.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
It's just, I don't know. And you know, I mean, I think everyone wants to, everyone should be, like, successful, and everyone should want to be successful. And, like, but there's just so many people that I hear that, like, get to that point, and then they're just like, oh man, I realized that all this stuff doesn't mean anything. Like King, what's his name? King David, or I think it's King David. He talks about how, like, he got everything in the world and then realized it was all nothing. Realized it was all meaningless in a way, and that there's something else that actually is fulfilling, and that's what we need to actually get at. You know?
Life, living,
yeah,
not being materialistic.
Yeah, yeah,
that's fair.
Yeah, exactly. I think, yeah, that's what. See, like, I feel like it has become, religion has become a lot more, especially like Protestantism. It's like all like a performance kind of, where they kind of like get up on stage and like so. Orthodox churches. And so, like, if you look at these places, like the inside of these churches, it's just like, when I look at these, like, I mean, I don't know about you, but I get a sense of, like, this is magnificent. This is, like, there's something about it that's really attractive to me, and I think it's something that's kind of beyond the materialistic value of it. It's more of like a pattern that they're trying to bring glory to, in a way. And the pattern has to do with like self-sacrifice, really, at the core of it. I think that's what the cross actually represents, is a sense of giving up yourself to the world as a and when you do that, that's actually the key, like, to what we were talking about, like how everyone's trying to fill this hole with materialism and all this stuff. It's like the key is to actually, like, instead of trying to take in and try to, like, you actually give up, and then that's somehow how you receive or how you get closer to God, I guess. That's how you get closer to God, actually, and it's not through the materialistic stuff and all that. And I can see how, but I see what you mean when it's like, there is material that goes into this, totally. Like, it's all material, like, and it's a lot of valuable stuff that could go to the poor and all that. And I'm sure you've seen, like, what happens in Africa, for example, when we just give money to Africa, but they don't change their value system.
So
they just end up going to war. They end up hoarding the money. But this pattern is kind of like trying to bring a solution and trying to bring a, like, I mean, this is just,
I feel you.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to generalize either religion as materialization.
Yeah.
I meant Scientology.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, I'm just kind of going into my own thing, but because, well, when I was listening to the Scientology guy, I was even seeing how he's kind of like, I feel like it's a distorted, like, it reminds me of the Illuminati in a way, where the Illuminati even has the, you know, like the picture of the eyeball.
Yeah.
You can see it on the dollar bill, like, there's something in that picture, like, that I can't deny, just this, at least the symbolism of it. It's like they're trying to symbolize, like, let's see, the Illuminati eye. Like triangles usually represent like a hierarchy, like a,
yeah,
you know, like there's the
the
bottom and then the top, and yeah, they're it's like an idea of something that's separate from the hierarchy, that's above the hierarchy, able to look down and oversee everything. So I can't deny that, like, just in that, like, there's something to that symbology. Like, it's kind of interesting. But I think ultimately the Illuminati is tied to evil stuff. I mean, you could just see it in it has to do with the fruits. And this is what even is in the Bible. Jesus talks about, you know, by their fruits. Like, and like, if you see the fruits of something is evil, then you know at the core of that they're not in that giving up. They're trying to get something out of it, you know. They haven't given themselves up in order to actually be like God, I guess. And that's something that, like, I mean, I don't know. We're all trying to do something good in life. We're all trying to, you know.
Not everybody.
Yeah, that's true.
That's why criminals exist.
Yeah.
Not everybody's trying to do good.
Yeah,
there's bad people.
You're right, actually.
I mean, there's definitely, I'm not saying that people are always naturally born bad. You know?
Yeah.
Things can happen to you.
Yeah.
Things of that nature. But, you know, there's definitely a lot of shit going on with the Illuminati and with all the religions.
Yeah.
And
there's a lot of corrupt shit.
I
don't totally agree with you that there's a lot of corrupt shit going on. Like Scientology.
And religion isn't what
I
it used to
completely
be
agree
either.
with that. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And honestly, I feel like I can't even completely say I know exactly what it used to be, because it's like we're living in a weird time, like, you know?
For sure.
I don't even know what weird time we're living in. It's like we're like, wait, what did I do? Oh, shit.
Too late to explore the world, too early to explore the stars, just the right time to drink and drive. Yes, sir.
Yep. But, I don't know. Do you think that was a... Ooh, that's actually creepy. That's the walls with eyes right there.
It's the walls with eyes, dude.
Ooh, I I didn't even realize that connection. Look, wait, hold up. Look at this. Just looking at this Illuminati screen right here, we're looking at a wall of eyes. That's
Yeah, we
crazy. That's crazy.
A wall of eyes. I feel like that's a good spot to end it.
Yeah, that is.
A wall of eyes,
I'm
man.
coming to that realization. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
actually insane. That's synchronicity right there. That's
Just like, you know what, let's look up Illuminati. And it's a wall of eyes. Welcome to a wall of eyes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great place to end the podcast. Hell yeah,
Hell
man. Yeah, thanks for doing this with me, man. This was a really great podcast.
Hey, we gotta do another
I
one.
loved it. Yes. We gotta just do tons of these, bro. We gotta get to Joe Rogan's level where he has like thousands. He literally is on like his 2,000th podcast. It's
Jesus Christ. That's a lot of podcasts.
Yeah.
Man, putting in some time.
For real.
Um,
Hell yeah.